Hey folks, I'm doing one video for this channel, sort of as a, I guess, promotion for it or whatever. Something to let people know that, well, I still believe in what I believe, and that's why the channel is still up. Um, but, I hope people realize that because, most channels that were anti-natalist and no longer are, they deleted their videos. I'm not going to name any names, but I've seen it quite a lot, to say the least. Um, and yeah, so basically the point of this video is to say that I'm still vegan and I'm still anti-natalist. But there's also more, and I feel like the anti-natalist community is, and also the vegan community, or even them both combined, they're still very vacant and very not looking at the world around them, not looking at what's happening. So I have a a popsicle made of iced tea and lemonade here. It turned out pretty bad. You can see it's mostly, it's like here the see because like I use one of those like popsicle molders, and I just like you shake the tea and lemonade mix, and then you put it in there, and then of course the tea. This is the bottom of the molder. The tea and lemonade, it all just gathers here, and then the water just gathers here. So I'm thinking maybe next time I'll do like sweet tea, lollipops, popsicles or something, I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So, as y'all know, I pride myself on being like a unique philosophy, unique with my philosophy, unique with my approach, and it's not going to change. In fact, I'm probably going to add more playlists. I'm thinking of music. I have come to a realization that a lot of the musicians that I was listening to before, where I thought that they were kind of, saying something that I agreed with, I realized that most musicians, they avoid topics where it's agree or disagree. And they don't even want to discuss those things. They don't mean to. When they bring it up, they basically don't even mean to bring it up. And one of my favorite musicians, Aesop Rock, I realized over time that he was really just a conspiracy theorist and not much in the way of a thinker. And obviously, because since 2016, I figured after his album came out in 2016 that that was just a warm up for the Trump era. But he hasn't said a damn word about Trump and anything that's changed the society. He doesn't have any, snarky political commentary anymore, and I just it makes me feel like maybe he never did. Maybe he was just always sitting in his motherfucking room all day, like these new modern people do. They just sit in a room all day and pretend like they have a life, and pretend like they fucking do something. Anyways, so right now I'm trying to go back to work. That's basically what I've been doing. Ever since I closed this channel, that's basically what I've been doing, is working. And obviously it's not closed, but I basically consider the channel to be canceled ever since the video that I made about, or the video that I re-uploaded, mirrored about the fascist fucktard Mendham. Not gonna say his real name. But that video was really the official ending to the channel. So everything after that is basically just bonus shit, and I renamed the channel to bitchute.com/channels/emanduguyperson, because that is where you need to see all my new videos. And if you're not doing that, well, then you weren't really on my side all to begin with. And I think I've explained this before. But it was on Bitchute that I explained it. And I tried to make videos on here to try and explain it too, why I'm not here and why I got so frustrated with it, but then I just get really frustrated. So I just really want to make this video really to say that I'm still eat vegan, and that I still am anti-natalist, and that there's other things too that I've already explained, like I'm basically socialist. And I've gotten more into the actual kind of Marxist and Leninist literature, and read it and analyzed it, and also analyzed a lot of other left philosophers, such as Cornel West, for example. Cornel Cornel West I hold to a high. It's probably my highest standard of any philosopher that I know of. I almost got a chance to talk to him one time before. Um, but you know, that just goes to my basically the underlying point of who I am, which is that I'm not just one thing. I'm not just anti-natalist, and if you're not an anti-natalist, then you know I'm just gonna fucking shun you. I used to be like that, but I realized that there's really not gonna be absolutely any. You're just gonna be sitting in a room silently your whole life, basically doing that, and that's what I was doing for a while. Basically, just sitting in a room silently, maybe playing a video game or watching a fucking rerun of some Bill Hicks stand up. I mean, or whatever. You know, it's just like it wasn't. There's nobody really that is anti-natalist to a standard that I approve of. And a good example of this would be Superhuman Dance, who he has had this video, his most famous video, which basically gave him his popularity. Everybody I guess forgets that now, but he made a video asking for pregnant women to give him breast milk to use, which is absolutely animalistic and wrong, and basically goes back to the stuff that I was saying in my older videos about treating women like animals. And look, people, I want to say something very concisely, which I tried to explain in my March 24, 2017 video. So I have my video list right behind me, so I don't remember that offhand, but you know. Anyways, but what I tried to say is I don't care what your fantasy is. I don't care what you fucking jerk off to, get back from work at the end of the day or whatever it is, you know. What I care about is your actions. And so if your actions are natalist, then you want to hang out with pregnant people or whatever it is, or you know, you try to have children or whatever the evil shit is, you know, that's different from a fantasy or different from, you know, like I said, it's not something that's taking place in reality. Now, I ain't the one that's, you know, I ain't the one that finds the pregos attractive. I'm talking about maybe the Superhuman Dance guy, for example. But basically what I'm trying to explain is, like I said, you know, we really need to try to realize that the internet community is not very successful, and it's not really working out right now, and it needs to change a lot, you know, if we're going to get anybody on our side. And then also the child-free people, you need to unite with us. That's what's really annoying to me too, because I also identified as child-free anti-natalist for a very long time. And you know, you go to the child-free communities, and they all just like, fuck anti-natalism, you motherfucker, get the fuck out, and they block you and ban you and treat you like a fucking pariah. You know what I'm saying? So it's really stupid, and I just getting to feel a sense that, you know, I felt for a couple of years now that maybe, you know, since shit is getting so much worse, people are just gonna start acting worse to each other, because, you know, if you're struggling to survive, you're not gonna treat people too nice. So that's why I think that society has become more chaotic, and more people are fighting with each other about nothing, and you know, they're not uniting on anything, even if they might agree on. They might even have points of agreement. They don't utilize them. And that's what fascism does to people, and that's why ever since I knew Trump would have a detrimental effect on this country, what I didn't realize how detrimental, because people are just at each other's throats now, and they all want to blame each other instead of blaming what the real problem is, which is fascism and neoliberalism, which has nothing to do with the liberal political bullshit. Liberal is different from neoliberalism. Neoliberalism is basically has to do with capitalism. It has nothing to do with politics for the most part. Well, you could make the argument that it's libertarianism, but it's basically the end of all regulation, and you know, therefore poisoning of everybody. So yeah, that popsicle is not too flavorful there. Maybe I should, you know, get some real popsicles. Anyways, yeah, it's starting to get hot over here, you know. where I live at, it's just the summer starts early and ends late. So, anyways, for all the people that used to watch and were my big fans and all that stuff, I don't think that they really are interested in seeing this stuff anymore. And I think that's the main reason why I don't do this channel anymore. People that were watching it, they don't want to see it anymore. And I didn't really want to see them too much. And it just got tiresome trying to, you know, deal with people that I just feel like something was wrong with some other people. It's like they were incapable of having fun. You know what I'm saying? Like they just felt like they deserved punishment or something, and that's the problem with so much of society in general, is they feel like they deserve punishment. They deserve to be living in a shitty situation, and so they don't move, they don't act, and they don't respond to that, and that's unfortunate. Because if they did, then maybe they would get something. Maybe they would get change. Maybe they would get something that they wanted. And maybe, you know, laugh, have some fun. I feel like one of my better videos was the Antinatalism stream 2016 that I did. That was a good one because we did laugh. You know, me and what's his name? God, I forget the kid's name, dude. Well, he's my age. I shouldn't say kid. God, man, what is his name? I'm just gonna look at the video. Oh, Jordan, that was his name. Jordan. Yeah, so that was a good video I did with Jordan. That was probably one of my better ones, I think. I still look back to that one as one of my best things that I did. And then, of course, nobody watched that video. But really, like, again, it's like I'm antinatalist and vegan, but I'm also things that you all probably are just gonna whine and bitch and moan about, you know, even though that it has absolutely nothing to do with me agreeing with you on those points. Like, you should just be motherfucking happy. That's what it is. You should just be motherfucking happy that I am, like, on your side, instead of saying, oh, well, you're this, that, and the other thing, and I don't know anything about that, so therefore you're out. Because that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. Childfree Diane is a good example of this, where her whole scene is uptight, you know, former breed. But really, it's just a bunch of people that already had children and that are just like, they're trying to find some MILF to fuck, and they think that they're gonna fuck her or something. That's really what it's so sad. Like, it really is. They don't believe in antinatalism. Her videos aren't even about antinatalism anymore. Like, she doesn't give a shit. And when they are about antinatalism, it's really distasteful. Like, you know, the video that she did where she was saying, like, or no, the video that she did after the Tree of Life synagogue shooting, where she put that antinatalist quote by the, you know, right at the memorial. That was very wrong, and I think the people are really, again, very being myopic about what's going on in this world. Too myopic for me to trust them. On any level, because I feel like as soon as I would say we should do this, they're gonna do the other thing in opposite. They're not leadable. They're not a leadable people. They're often on the deep end. You know what I'm saying? We need people. What we need is a leader, and I'm not the leader. We need a fucking leader, and we need people that are gonna listen to the motherfucking leader. And that seems to me like the society is just completely gone, totally against all of that now. Unless if it's in the military, unless if they're in the U.S. military and they're bombing fucking children in the Middle East. They're not going to listen to their fucking leaders. They're not going to have a leader. They're not going to value anybody other than themselves. And so that's the problem. And that's what made me realize that, you know, I had to branch out just past just antinatalism and veganism, and realize that there's other people that have some motherfucking brilliant ideas, including the motherfucking religious people too. Because that was one thing too that I didn't pay attention to when I was doing this channel before. I just said, you know, all Christians and Christians and Jews and Muslims, they're all shitheads and, you know, awful and blah blah blah. There are vegan and antinatalist Muslims, Jews, vegans, you know, Muslims, Jews, and Christians as well, and Buddhists and all of that. So if really that's all that matters at all. If you're fucking crying about anything else other than that, there's those things, child-free, anti-natalist, vegan. If you're bitching about that, you know what I'm saying? I really don't give a fuck about what you have to say. So, you know, obviously I don't agree with. I think I've said I don't agree with Buddhism very much. You know, all of the reincarnation, you know, mumbo jumbo bullshit. And that's what's so amazing about this so-called so-called atheist community is that they replace they're not really replacing religion at all. They're saying oh no we're destined, and this is going to happen, and we're going to be reincarnated, and blah 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 blah, and they got it all from what's his name, the motherfucking the guy that did the Cosmos show, because he was the guy that said that. He was like, oh yes, we'll all be absorbed into the trees, and we'll all just be, reincarnated forever and ever and ever. And I started reading a lot, and I actually I went to a synagogue one time, and I talked to like the rabbis and the cantors and all that, and I felt like, that was a lot more enlightening than my time in Christian church, a lot more enlightening than my time that I've spent at other unorthodox kind of churches. I once went to the Unitarian Universalist Church, and man, I mean, there was a pregnant lady giving the sermon, and then they were singing like these motherfucking songs for kindergartners too at the beginning. It wasn't even like religious music. It was just like, shine and smile and be happy, and it was like, motherfucker, die. Hate people like that. Like, just be happy, don't think, motherfucking slaves. Anyways, and so there's a lot of people that are Jewish and Christian and Muslim that all don't have kids and are all vegan. I'm not saying all of them as a whole. I'm saying some of them are, and we can't just discard them. I mean, the thing is, they're the ones that are in tune on moral topics. Now, they might not have the right morals that you agree with, but we need to be concerned about moral topics. And the fact that people are trying to say, no, let's just discard them entirely. That's what the new atheists are trying to do. I came into atheism before, I feel like kind of a little bit before new atheism really started to be stupid. And because I got into it, and then once I started to get into seeing all these people like, you're amazing atheist, and you're the other guy, the guy who wrote the book about how the Iraq war was all justified and shit, motherfucking idiot, and Christopher Hitchens and all those assholes they're brain dead, they're motherfucking slaves, and they don't have a goddamn ounce of anything to add to the world other than cynicism. And yeah, Sam Harris, that's what it is. It's cynicism, and it's Nazism 101. Cynicism is Nazism. So it's just like, okay, well, instead of fixing the problem, let's just kill all the problem. That's what it is. And so that's what the motherfucking slaves that are supporting the atheism, and the vast majority of the people that are in the anti-natalist community as well, they're basically just 2 inches away from being fucking Nazis, and I don't trust them at all. Come up to me, talk to me, discuss with me without me, going up to you first, and then we can see if we'll be, comrades. But when people, they're so dodgy towards me, then I'm not going to trust them. So anyways, so this channel is still going to be pretty much totally abandoned, and I don't care, because you're wrong. You're all wrong. If you don't think that antinatalism, anti-fascism, child freedom, veganism are all things that make sense, go away. And if you're not willing to, at least just tell somebody that in real life, or unite with somebody, make a group that is not just a group. What I want for this whole movement, for any movement to be worth a shit at all, it has to be active, and not just making videos. I mean, politically active and trying to get power, because otherwise, if they're not getting the power, then who else is getting power? The people that are against us every day. It's all. Now, there's one guy who's actually going to be running for president named Cory Booker, and he's vegan, but I'm not going to vote for him because he is also a fucking big time corporate Democrat who takes lots of money from the pharmaceutical industry, which I've explained to y'all that I disagree with heavily, because they're trying to feed poison to children so they can conform and be a slave, monkey, motherfucking devil, just like their parents. And so, I'm not going to vote for Cory Booker. I'll vote for Bernie Sanders, and that's the only person who I'm going to vote for. And if somebody says that they believe in the exact same shit that Bernie does, then I'll vote for them. Okay? But other than that, yeah, basically, it's not just antinatalism and veganism for me. It's antinatalism, anti-fascism, child freedom, veganism, and we need to also fucking respect and welcome into our community the people that believe in religious shit, because that's not like people just act like okay, they've had some bad. What it really is it's just like people have had bad situations with religious people. Let's say their parents, my dad was homophobic and whatnot, and if you use that religion as an excuse, there's things like that. But what you really need to consider is that it doesn't matter how many of those there are, that there's still going to be some that are good. And so, yeah, but there's still going to be some that are good. Now, also about the radio stuff, Fire Radio. This channel was called Fire Radio. It's not called Fire Radio anymore because I don't want you to be watching this channel, basically. I want you to go watch the Bitchute channel. So if you respect me or like my videos or have any sense, give me any sense of decency, then you will go there to watch the videos. But basically, I am still going to be making some playlists, or working on the playlists that I already have started, and maybe making some more as well. I don't know. But I've been making a playlist for a long time called Songs That I Would Play on Fire Radio, which I'm always taking things off and putting things on there, and honestly, that needs some. It's okay, but it's just see, you got a lot of Aesop Rock in here, and he's not a very thoughtful human being, as I've explained. And so I basically just started to fill this stuff up with songs that are just either apolitical or they're just catchy, So that's basically what I've done with this. And then also I've made a playlist that is stupid 2000s pop and R&B hits, which you can figure what that is by the name. And so it's got all of your stupid shit that you heard in 2000s on the radio, like your Not Ready to Make Nice by the Dixie Chicks, Basket Case by Green Day, Riding Dirty by Chameleonaire. I mean, all of that stuff. I Write Sins Not Tragedies by Panic at the Disco. So you got all that. I got all that stuff there. Now I haven't been actually running my actual radio station because I don't have a radio right now. I had 2 radios. One got left over at my house that I was living at until my father went fucking insane and started attacking my family, and I had to damn near kill him to get him away from us. And so I lost my boombox there, which cost me about $100, but my life's more important. And then also I broke my cassette player. I had a Walkman, but that had also a radio. So the only radio I have left is I have like a little MP3 player thing, and so it's not necessarily. I don't know. I might do it, but I don't know. Sometimes I still always worry about getting caught. But people, like I said, like I've been saying since I started doing the radio stuff, nobody really listens to the radio, so there's some safety and obscurity there. But yeah, basically everything is the same except the stuff that's not the same. So anti-natal, anti-fascism, child freedom, veganism are chill and good, and just want to make sure everybody understands that that's what I think, and that there's not been much of a change on that front. And that also, like I said, I think that we should really try to include as many people in this group as we can, that as long as they're anti-natalist, child-free, vegan, etc. If they're child-free and anti-natalist, even if they're just child-free and anti-natalist, I feel like we can convince them on the veganism and the anti-fascism and socialism, all that stuff. I feel like once you get people to convince people that doing stuff just doing stuff that the society tells you to do isn't so smart. Once people start to realize that that's not so smart to do what the fucking society tells you to do, you know, I feel like there's a lot of opportunities that are open for that person, including myself. And so, really, that's basically about it for the video. I probably dragged it on for a little bit too long. Also, here's a shirt that I designed. It's called Throw Away Trash. And he's throwing away a yin-yang symbol because, you know, I don't like the Buddhist, Taoist, fucking bullshit yin-yang. Oh, yeah, let's just have a balance. We'll just balance good and evil. Yeah, that'll be perfect. That won't backfire at all. We'll just have a motherfucking, you know, let's just have half the world be motherfucking Holocaust zone and have the other half be heaven. And then it'll be a great world, won't it? Fuck no.